Started this project here this summer with a group of students from the Master's of Integrated Design and Construction program from Auburn University. We were simply trying to look into the development of a $2,000 house. To some degree, we'd heard a lot about the small houses, minimal dwellings, $2,000 houses that are suddenly very popular in the media and the popular culture. There's even a little show on it happening at the moment. And so we were interested in replicating that type of construction, especially as it related to either FEMA FEMA-related housing, or some type of transition housing for nonprofit organization. So one of the things we started off doing was actually meeting with one of the directors of the Alabama Rural Ministry and talking to them about their need for temporary, movable, flexible, transitional housing, either for elderly or for individuals who are coming out of some sort of trauma. And oftentimes these would be single individuals, or even maybe an elderly individual with some small children that might be responsible for. So we were looking at making actually a very small dwelling that we could put on the back of a truck, put on the back of a trailer, and move to a variety of sites. So what you see behind me here is a house that is approximately 160 square feet. It is framed out of wood. It has been put onto 2 skids so that it can be moved around from site to site. We tried to keep the dimensions at around 8 feet by 20 feet, certainly expandable from those dimensions. But at the moment, that's sort of the minimal sized dwelling. It meets a minimum of code of 150 square feet minimum, has 2 means of egress, and the minimum room dimension is 7 foot 5 inches, whereas the city code requires at least a 7 foot by 9 foot room as a kind of minimal dwelling. So a lot of what we were trying to do here was to meet those minimal opportunities for living, try to compact living as much as possible into those dimensions, that 8 foot by 20 foot dimension, and again, make it something that was temporary, make it something that was movable and flexible for a variety of sites. So again, as you look behind, there's a lot of things that we've tried to do in terms of putting down 4 by 6 inch that are sort of built up to be 18 inch by 18 inch footings that the skids then sit on. And so it's actually quite easy to begin to move onto a site, to prepare a site, to move this house from one location to another, and then even in the future to think about expanding it, to shift the dimensions to other dimensions, to make it a little bit larger if necessary. But at this point in time, we feel like we've actually done a pretty a good job of getting down to just the minimum square footage necessary to live in a dwelling like this. Part of the thing that we've discovered, or one of the things we've discovered, is that $2,000 price range is incredibly difficult to achieve. Obviously, some of the examples that we were looking at certainly dealt with recycled, reclaimed, or reused materials that may have been free or may have not cost very much. We've gone through a really careful price analysis and cost analysis of the project to understand that the $2,000 does not get you a finished product. As a matter of fact, it gets you a product that probably at the end of the day doesn't have any fixtures, or any internal, when I say fixtures, I mean plumbing, toilets, sinks, and things of that sort. So those are certainly additional items that need to be incorporated into the price. The final price that we've estimated in order to finish this project as an 8 foot by 20 foot minimal dwelling is probably going to be around $3,300. So can't really do a 2K house, but we've discovered, at least at this size, you can do a 3.3K house, which seems to some degree a bit more optimistic. It's taking a lot of that reality into effect.